Finally for us here tonight, you could say the doctor is in. We're happy to announce that Dr. Steve Turkovich, president of Oishei Children's Hospital, will be joining us on a weekly basis for our Ask the Pediatrician segment. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
We hear from parents all the time who have questions, and you don't see your pediatrician every week, right? Yep. You hopefully see them a few times a year. So we want to take the viewers' questions and try to get some answers. And we just want to remind everyone, it's easy to connect with us just on our Facebook page. Also, voices@wkbw.com is an easy way to email us. So first of all, February is American Heart Month. We know how deadly heart disease can be, especially later in life. Yep. How important then is that setting a child on the right path at an early age, thinking about how dangerous it can be later on?
So that's a great question. As pediatricians, we're always focused on wellness. We want to put kids on the right path from the beginning and building those healthy habits. In my mind, health is three buckets. It's diet, exercise or activity, and sleep. And so from a diet perspective, you want to be eating whole, healthy foods like fruits, vegetables, things that aren't packaged. If you're looking at anything that's packaged, make sure it doesn't have a lot of added sugar. Screen time is not good. So the more activity you have that's not screen time, inside, outside, structured, unstructured is really good. And sleep. More and more research is coming in around sleep and how important that is. When you sleep is when your body grows, and it is when you learn. So it's really important for you to get regular sleep every night. Make sure you're getting enough. And if you do those three things, you will set up for a healthy life.
I've been binge watching Succession, and I haven't been getting enough sleep. I was just complaining in the newsroom about it. Got to get sleep. All right, so we also got a question today, actually from our own newsroom. Shannon, one of our employees, wondering about vitamin D supplements for her 2-year-old, because we've talked a lot, and obviously this past weekend we saw the sun, but we haven't seen it a whole lot. This is the time of year when a lot of people go through vitamin D deficiencies. Yeah,
with Buffalo with not a lot of sun, as you said, it is very challenging. Vitamin D is developed in our skin when it's exposed to UV light. So when we don't have that, it's challenging. And actually everybody needs potentially supplements, especially babies when they're very young that are exclusively breastfed need that. It helps build strong bones. But as you get older, if you're not getting it in your diet, you should be taking some multivitamins. So I grew up in the era of Flintstone vitamins. There's all different sorts of vitamins out there now. What you're looking for is a total of about 400 international units of vitamin D a day, whether it be from a supplement or a supplement plus from your diet. And you can get a lot of that through fortified milk and fortified orange juice. So depending upon what your diet is, you may or may not need it, but in Buffalo, it's not a bad idea to take a multivitamin a day.
Finally, I have about a minute left here. We got a question from Linda in Amherst, who is asking about the appropriate time to switch from a rear-facing car seat to a front-facing car seat.
Yep.
And I know there are a lot of factors for that, right?
Yeah, so you're usually going to make that switch from rear to front-facing when you're between 2 and 4 years old. And it all depends upon the car seat that you're using and what the size is for that. So when your child outgrows that rear-facing, which is again between 2 and 4, is when you want to make the switch and move them to the front-facing.
And it's 2 to 4 may sound like a big range, but that's because one 2-year-old and one 4-year-old they can be very different, right?
Yes,
so that's why it's just going to fluctuate between kids?
Yes, you want to make sure that you're doing what's best for your child based upon the actual car seat that they have. And then when you're front-facing, you're going to be moving to a booster seat when you're about 9-ish. And then when you're about 12, you can graduate from that just to the regular car seat or seatbelt.
Yeah. Dr. Steve Turkovich, president of Oishei Children's Hospital, who, by the way, still sees patients on a regular basis there. Thanks for coming in. It's good to see you.
My pleasure.
See you next
Thank
week.
you.